What's going on, everybody? This is JVB from talkingaboutgames.com, and I'm here demonstrating the new Microsoft Surface tablet. Thanks to my wife, who gave it to me as an anniversary/Christmas gift. The thing is not cheap. I have the 32 gigabyte version, which is a whopping $4.99. Then I also got it with the cover/keyboard, which was another $100. Now, I must warn you ahead of time, even though you do get the 32 gigabyte version, the operating system itself is 12 gigabytes. So right out of the box, excuse me for my stuttering, right out of the box, you're left with 17 gigabytes. You can expand the memory by putting in a micro SD chip, but there are issues where with the Metro operating system, which you see here, in the beginning I showed you the desktop, the virtual desktop. When you're using the Metro apps, they will not pick up your SD card. So for example, if you want to use the video app that you will find on the Xbox Live interface, it will not pick up the movies on your SD card. There are ways around it, and you could browse the internet for those specific walkarounds. Now here I'm showing you Xbox Smart Glass. I'm not synced up to my Xbox. I just got this a few days ago. I work in New York City, so I haven't had much time to mess around with it. This weekend I shall, due to the unfortunate hurricane situation. So here I'm showing, of course, Halo 4 is just around the corner. Here you see Internet Explorer. It runs flawlessly. You get just about everything that you would, and that scary individual in the background is me. You will get a full browsing experience on a tablet. And that is one of the main reasons why I decided to go with the Surface. I was in the market for a tablet, a full-blown tablet, 10-inch tablet. Some of you are familiar with my videos with the Nexus 7. I do have the Samsung Galaxy Note, so eventually I realized that it was overkill carrying a 7-inch tablet and a 5.3-inch phone. So I decided to get a 10-inch tablet that will provide a workstation for me. Meaning, because I am part owner of a website, that I wanted WordPress and a comfortable keyboard and all that stuff. Now here, really quickly, I'm showing the People app. I can either post to Facebook or Twitter. I can see my feed of both simultaneously. Here, I'm actually using Facebook on Internet Explorer. I can do everything that you can do on your PC with Internet Explorer. And though I don't use it on my PC, well, on my iMac, I do enjoy it on the Surface. They did maximize it to run very effectively. And here's a shout out to my boy TG1 Eddie up on top, Eddie Carrera, one of the owners of talkingaboutgames.com. He's in Jersey. Unfortunately, he's having trouble with electricity due to the hurricane, so I liked his post right on Internet Explorer. So back to why I chose the Surface. Well, I nearly went back to an iPad, and the Google Nexus 10 was announced as well. And because I truly enjoyed the experience with Nexus 7, I figured it would be a perfect match to go back to the 10. And here I'm playing a YouTube video that was on somebody's Facebook page. And there you can maximize and minimize the resolution. And so my brother-in-law had purchased the the Surface, and up there I'm closing my tabs. You swipe down when you're on the Internet Explorer, you swipe down, you see your tabs. And there's a the iPad mini, a review on from TheVerge.com, which I did not consider purchasing because I got rid of my Nexus 7 because of my Galaxy Notes. So when I went to the Microsoft store in Manhattan, the first thing I said is, if I feel a connection with this tablet, I will buy it on the spot. I immediately did. I do like the Windows 8 interface. I like it on the phones. And I really felt that on the tablet, it would fit what I like on a tablet, which is a nice, elegant looking interface, something that is modern, and something that doesn't look old. The iOS, it looks old. Android, even though Jelly Bean is super quick and everything, still looks old. The Windows 8 RT interface looks like something you would see in Total Recall. So here I'm demonstrating that on the website you can still browse and have the video playing. You can actually, which I really like, you can actually have, for example, a YouTube video playing on one tab. You can switch over to another tab, or you can switch over to another app and the song or video will still play in the background. Here I'm demonstrating how you switch between open apps and split screen, which is something that I truly enjoy. On the right hand corner, you can see a picture of my tablet, of my Surface with the keyboard. And I tell you what, the keyboard is so responsive. It took me a little while to get used to. I have big hands, and I have the touch capacitive keyboard. So I don't have the physical keyboards. And there goes the virtual desktop. Here you can mess around with all your files, transfer files. What I haven't demonstrated in this video was the ability to connect certain devices on a full-scale USB port. A full-size USB port, excuse me. So what I did was, I took a video from my phone, plugged in my phone directly. It even started charging my phone. It picked up my phone immediately, and I was able to transfer files from my phone straight into the Microsoft Surface. And this is Total Recall, the new one. Don't ask me how I got it. If you look at the top right, left-hand corner, you'll see where I got it. Hint. It's an HD video, and it ran it with no problems. I did have issues finding the right app that would play an AV file. So that was one thing I should have expected, but nonetheless, there is an app that will handle it. Now look at this interface. It's very crisp, clean, modern. And here's the store. Now, a lot of reviews had stated that, and you see the video still playing in the background. So I can actually, the audio is off, of course, but you'll hear the movie still going on. And of course, I can put into split screen mode. The store itself, there are a lot of apps that are maximized for the Surface. There aren't a lot of familiar apps. To me, the Surface is aimed more towards the business-minded person. Yes, there are some video games, but there are a lot of productivity apps here. There you go, Joyride, which I haven't played, Hulu Plus. You get the usual. I wouldn't say that it's lacking because I'm never going to go through all these apps. Eventually, they will catch up. But that does not take away from the experience that I had, which was a really impressive experience. I'm still really impressed with this device. Granted, as I stated, I haven't messed with it as much as I would like to. I will this weekend. But right now, this is the best in my opinion, the best tablet in the market. And that is not even including the build quality. One thing I really enjoyed about the iPad was its unique build quality. And the Microsoft Surface is just definitely as impressive. It has the kickstand, matches Apple's, which totally eliminates the need to buy a case with a kickstand. Okay. It is a very sturdy kickstand. The whole body is made out of some aluminum type material that Microsoft calls, they named it their own type of material, but it feels like aluminum. It's very strong and sturdy. The keyboard functions as a cover. The outer layer of the keyboard, it has a nice cloth feel to it, so that instead of when you put the tablet down with the case closed, you could put it on the cloth surface, and no pun intended, surface, and the surface is not going to move around because it's going to give it some grip. It's a really nice design, and currently there is nothing in the market like this. Here are some photos. The Microsoft tour when I lived in Florida. I used to be a Microsoft MVP, but that has nothing to do with my my adoration with the Microsoft Surface. Do I regret getting rid of the iPad and the Nexus 7 for this? Hell no. Some of the negatives, because every device has a negative. Some of the negatives, of course, is the operating system being 12 gigabytes in space or large. So right off the bat, you're pretty much left with a 16 gigabyte version of the Surface. If I would have, even though I knew that, I actually thought about getting the 64 gigabyte version, but I figured with a nice SD card, I can transfer larger files along with the virtual desktop, and that whole situation will be taken care of with a nice size SD card. I believe it goes up to 64 gigabytes. So that's a lot. That's a lot. I plan mainly to watch movies on this, do WordPress for talking about games.com. I want to try to do some photo editing. I don't know if they have apps like that, like Sketchbook Pro. I do have it on my phone. I can, worst case scenario, do some type of photo editing on my Galaxy Notes and transfer it over to the Surface. I don't really want to go through all that, even though all it takes is one attachment of a USB port, but I'm sure the applications will come and go. And here is talkingaboutgames.com. Here is our review for Dishonored by Soldier X, who is the third partner. He gives it an A-. Now you notice it's not much detail as in his review, and that's because we do the full review on our podcast, the post-game report. So as you can see, once again, I'm on Internet Explorer. I'm getting the full browsing experience on a tablet. It doesn't take me to a desktop. To a mobile version of the website. It goes straight to desktop. And I can share the articles on my Google+, Facebook, Twitter. I can do it all right on Internet Explorer, right on the tablet. Now, because this interface is very modern, you have a lot of small, like for example on the top right, you have the small circles for back, forward. Sometimes I'll miss those little tabs, those little virtual buttons, but it does have like a mouse pointer. If you notice when I'm touching it, it gives you a nice little animation letting you know where you're touching on the screen. Or you can simply use the keyboard and use the keypad that's on the keyboard and navigate that way. And here's another example of full flash support. This is our video of when we played some Halo 4 multiplayer during Comic-Con. There goes Soldier. And the gentleman you're going to see next is me with the gruffy goatee. So here's my impressions of the Surface, the Microsoft Surface. Hopefully you liked it. Check out my website, talkingaboutgames.com. And until next time, I am JVB. Talk to you later.